Good morning, pop culture. We are live. It is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. It's 7:55 a.m., and it's time to start today's show. So, I was noticeably absent yesterday. I had some stuff I had to do, and the High Council had run late as well, so you guys had that to listen to. But a whole slew of new news has popped up, and we're going to be talking about it today. So, first off, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. I don't know what Galaxy is, but we'll talk about that too if you want. We're also going to be talking about some Doctor Who stuff, some Into the Spider-Verse controversy, as well as some Battlefield 5 news. So this is basically the show you've all been waiting for. We're going to hit all the big notes. So before we start today's show, tonight is episode 150 of World Class Bullshitters. It's exciting. It's a big number. It's a nice big round number. So we're going to have some fun stuff planned. So make sure you guys join us tonight. It's the end of an era, the beginning of a new one. So like the Green Goblin says, commencement, the ending of one thing, the beginning of another. So it's going to be exciting. All the guys will be here tonight. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff we talk about tonight, or this morning, and a whole lot more. So be prepared for that. I also have put out a video, Tales from the P.O. Box. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, check it out. It was a lot of fun. Low turnout rate, but a lot of positivity. So if you guys send stuff, I will always make videos about it. I won't tell you what's in the box yet because you've got to watch the video, but there were some really cool things. We had a toy pop up. We had some cool stuff from the past. And if our friend the Pui is listening, I finally opened your gift out of the packaging, and it's so cool sitting here on my desk. So thank you very much. But that was a lot of fun to make. I've also been working on other single release videos. I have one coming up about the all-female Spider-Man crossover movie, which nobody wants to see. But hey, it's Sony, so you know they're going to make it. Look at Ghostbusters. That was a hit, right? No. But I also have a few other things I'm working on behind the scenes as well. So I'd like to give a shout out to all those who have joined us every day here on Good Morning Pop Culture. And I'd like to thank those behind the scenes that are helping me get together some of the information for my Culture War series. You know who you are, and I'd like to tell you thank you right now. So before the show even started, we had Marefti Aline send in a super chat that says, look up Star Wars Galaxy of Adventure. Galaxy. Why can I not say Galaxy this morning? Probably because I don't have my coffee. My Keurig jammed, so it's not even raspberry. It's just got a water under pressure, slowly open handle warning. So I'm just like, where's my thing? Where's the little ball to unclog it? I couldn't find it in time. So this is a coffeeless episode of Good Morning Pop Culture. But I don't like to keep the people waiting. This is the People's Republic of Pop Culture, and you guys need your fix of the show in the morning. But Marefti Aline, thank you very much. Yes, that is what we're going to be talking about for a little bit. I have quite a few things to say, a few interesting tidbits. You're going to get the world-class bullshitters treatment on that topic this morning. So thank you, even though you sent it a super chat for it. It was going to be the topic of today's show. I mean, how could I not talk about something quite useless like the Star Wars adventure Galaxy of Adventure. Wow, again. You know what? Somebody take a note of how many times I mispronounce the word Galaxy of Adventure. There you go. Those 3 words. Let's see if I can top, if I can say it worse than Ethan and Jeremy say some of the listeners' screen names, like Alpha Terranima. They can never figure out how to say that one. It's Alpha Terranima? Nope. Alpha Terranima. Galaxy of Adventure. Boom, I got it. Not going to make that mistake again. But speaking of mistakes, Orson Welles, real quick. I've been watching this documentary about Orson Welles. It's called They'll Love Me When I'm Dead. And it's the story of this movie that he wanted to make that never got made. And I only bring it up for one little relevant piece of information. So in it, they talk about Star Wars, and they show clips from the movie. And it is somehow clips from the original cut of A New Hope in high definition. So I just want to put this out there. I think Lucasfilm behind the scenes is messing with the fans because they have this documentary on Netflix. It's brand new, but they still somehow put clips from the original film. So I feel like that's a way to say, hey, fans, it exists. You're just not going to get it. Maybe that's part of George Lucas's edict. I don't know. But it made me think and laugh and think to myself, why it exists? Why not just give it to the people and make $1 billion? Oh, wait, because we have to make a cartoon. So there we go. So morning to everybody. We've hit 200, and let's start the main topic. So Star Wars Galaxy of Adventure. And I think I have a nice little image to show you guys. Yeah, we'll show you something to look at. I had to watch that trailer about 5 times. So that's exciting. Actually, the trailer, I've seen crappier trailers. I don't think it's the worst trailer ever made. I just think in theory, it is, a little, that's all I can say. It's a little weird. So while I'm looking for this image to show you guys, here we go. This will be today's title card for the episode of Good Morning Pop Culture. Let's pull it up on screen, and let's start talking about Star Wars Galaxy Adventures. And share. There we go. Gotta love live radio, folks. So last night, Darth Vader came down from planet Vulcan, and, well, that's the wrong movie, but Star Wars, our sweet, sweet Star Wars, what have they done to you? So they've milked Star Wars dry of its green milk, they've picked the carcass clean, and now they're using the bones as toothpicks. My first thought when I saw this was, why the original characters? And then I thought to myself, oh yeah, because the new ones suck. I watched the trailer like most of you guys, and I was pretty confused. The original audio from the movie was pretty cool. I thought that was a positive. But what is the purpose for this? Why does this exist? You see, unlike the other Disney abominations, however bad they be, they at least have some new element that we don't know about. Well, we later learn just how bad Star Wars can actually be. Now, it's not to lump any amount of praise on these pieces of trash, but with these shorts, I don't even think they're trying at this point. So my biggest question is, why not just watch the movies? Star Wars is probably the most owned film in history. It exists on most formats, and most of all, it's a great movie. I just don't get why Disney thinks kids have no attention span. Well, it could be because they're engineering that, but that is the topic for another day. And so if you're wondering what I'm actually talking about besides, oh, Star Wars, there's a cartoon, and no, I'm not talking about Resistance, let me tell you exactly what I mean. So there's an article I found that kind of sums up all this information in one nice, concise, slightly biased envelope, and we'll tear it apart later. So this comes from Screen Rant. Star Wars animated shorts relive classic moments. Star Wars is getting animated in Star Wars Galaxy of... There we go, I did it again. Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures, a new series of shorts that will relive classic moments from the beloved franchise. Originally created by George Lucas, the science fiction fantasy saga first hit screens back in 1977 with A New Hope. That's incorrect. That was followed by The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The trilogy proved to be cultural phenomenon, amassing a passionate following. The later spawned a series of hugely popular animated shows, a collection of expanded universe books, and a much maligned prequel trilogy. After Lucas sold the rights to Disney, fans finally got their wish to see what ultimately became their favorite spacefaring heroes. Unfortunately, the latest installment has mostly served to divide fans. Whilst The Force Awakens shattered records, it was also considered somewhat of a retread. Despite glowing reviews, The Last Jedi provoked a rabid response from numerous fans regarding, among other things, the depiction of Luke Skywalker. Meanwhile, Solo: A Star Wars Story proved to be the franchise's first flop. Things aren't without hope, however. Outside of such upcoming television series as The Mandalorian, Lucasfilm has scaled back on their anthology and expanded universe stories, instead focusing on Episode 9 and returning the saga to its roots. A step in that direction is the announcement of Star Wars Kids, that Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures will explore the classic themes, pivotal moments, and iconic characters from the Star Wars saga. The collection of animated shorts will debut on the brand new Star Wars Kids website and YouTube channel, which has already released the first official trailer. And then it goes on to say, the first 6 episodes are set to be released on November 30th, with additional shorts being released in December, and then weekly in 2019. Combined with mixed media educational pieces, the shorts are intended to help introduce a galaxy far, far away to a whole new generation. All while that Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures will serve as the beginning of a year-long celebration that will culminate with the release of Episode 9. So there you go, folks. It's going to release each week until Episode 9 comes out. I feel like they're retreading the Clone Wars, the good one from, well, they're both good, but the one from 2003, the animated Clone Wars. I feel like they're going for that route. And then this is interesting too. Although the series is set to explore the entire saga. The trailers focused heavily on the original trilogy, featuring such iconic moments as Luke Skywalker receiving his lightsaber, the destruction of the first Death Star, and Leia's face-off with Darth Vader. It's unsurprising that the creators have chosen to look at the past where it all began. Not only is nostalgia proving to be a major component of the entertainment right now, but Episode 9 is set to be the conclusion of the Skywalker saga, and therefore the end of an era. As such, it's the perfect time for new fans to educate themselves as the decades worth of context and build-up of the franchise has proceeded, and for old fans to look back and reflect on the world and characters to which they have adoringly decided or dedicated much of their lives. So, God, I don't know how to take this outside of ugh. See, I don't look at it as an attempt for kids to learn about the original trilogy, because the movies are there. Kids in the 70s had the original trilogy. Kids of the 90s, kids of the 2000s. Our friend American Trent grew up in 2004 with the DVD release, found Star Wars. I feel like these are excuses. The reason that they're showing this is to avoid backlash. They want to put out something with Star Wars and not get any negative press. They want to be able to say, well, look, if the fans like this one, well, why is that the case? Because it's Han, Luke, Leia, Chewbacca, the droids, and Darth Vader, the stuff people care about. Disney has failed on every level to produce new, interesting characters. They have failed to produce anyone of merit. Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, Hux, Snoke, all of them shitty. None of them have been interesting, compelling characters. It's like the world forgot how to write quality characters, and continuously, Disney just puts out film after film with boring, vapid characters, and then they retread the old stuff. And then when fans are awakened to it, no pun intended, they try to say, well, we wanted to do a callback. See, they tried to get away with these retreads, and then people woke up to it and figured it out. So now they're just like, oh shit, what do we do? Well, what you do is you try harder. You stop crapping on the legacy of Luke Skywalker. See, the thing is, you want to make money off Luke, but you spent all of last year telling us to let the past die, kill it if you have to. Well, okay, we're ready to let the past die. Star Wars is the past. We're ready to move on to something else. But guys, wait, Luke Skywalker's going to get his lightsaber in animation. Okay, but Darth Vader, but Princess Leia. See, Disney, Lucasfilm, whoever made these decisions, they were all bad decisions to have made. They didn't think forward enough. They thought, oh, J.J. Abrams is going to come in, he's going to hook them, we're going to make our $2 billion, and we're not worried about it, we're just going to keep pumping out these movies in perpetuity, and we're going to keep making our money. But in the words of Happy Gilmore, they just weren't any good. They weren't. And thankfully, people were smart enough. And now we're conditioned to pay attention to everything Disney does. See, Marvel's slick. In many ways, you can go into a Marvel movie, turn off your mind, enjoy it, and kind of come out, okay, we're done. That was it. But with these Star Wars movies and how adversarial they've been towards us, the fan base, the consumers, the audience, well, we're always looking to see what they actually mean. Are there hidden messages? Are they trying to belittle us, to question our intelligence with these Star Wars projects? And I say, yes, they are. They're always attacking us, but now they're just trying to beg us to come back. You see, if they were really focused on the next generation of fans with these new characters, they would have given them someone cool to look to. But the next generation has 1,000,001 side distractions. They have phones, PlayStations, Xboxes, tablets, TV, internet, everything else. You know, somebody like PewDiePie means more to a whole new generation of people than Luke Skywalker. And yeah, that hurts me to say it, but it's a true statement. So what do, Disney? Well, you got to get us, the people who were there from either the beginning, which was way before I was born, or the people who found Star Wars along the way. And now they've even gone so far as to reintroduce the prequel era stuff because they know that there's money to be made there. For example, if you watch this trailer, you see Yoda fight Dooku. And for people that are in there, you know, you could even include me because technically I was 10 when the first one, episode 1, came out. So people like 30 and younger, that was their Star Wars. Imagine getting into Star Wars around episode 2 or 3, watching the Clone Wars, playing the games, dressing up, all that stuff. That is your Star Wars. The original stuff is everybody else's Star Wars. But no one lays claim to the new era of Star Wars. Episode 7, 8, Rogue One, and Solo are no one's Star Wars. They're the Disney Star Wars, or as I like to call them, the bad Star Wars, to be avoided at all costs. You see, folks, there was decades worth of good Star Wars entertainment called the Expanded Universe, and Disney chose to destroy it. Why? So they could milk the other books and just remake certain elements in these movies to a lesser extent, lesser quality, that is. And so now, in record time, spectacular time, in a spectacular fashion, they've managed to mess up Star Wars so bad that they have to literally go back to the originals, make them animated to appeal to kids for flashy yeah moments, put the old audio, and then try to sell that. And so what are they going to do? Well, they're going to go out and they're going to put out Star Wars toys based off this cartoon, based on the original characters, because collectors will go out and buy, oh, I got to get Han and Luke and Chewie and Leia and Obi-Wan and Lando and Darth Vader. And kids will see it because they're a toy, and I saw that on TV, and they'll play with it, and they'll make their money, but then the kids will move on to Turtles or something else. See, Star Wars came out at the perfect time. It was the biggest thing in the world, and it was the only game in town, realistically. You had your $6 million man, you had your other toy lines, you had your Mego Star Trek, but no one had the ships like Star Wars, the play sets, the figures, all that stuff. Well, let's move forward to the 1980s. What came out? Transformers, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe. All toy lines with vehicles, play sets, tons of action figures. Whole new generation. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, things came and went. Those kind of franchises actually have stayed consistent, if you will. Star Wars has come, Star Wars has gone, it ebbs and flows. Star Wars is in a weird place. The name holds so much value to so many people, but the people that value it the most are being shunned, pushed aside. And now they're coming back to us, the people they've tried to push aside, in an attempt to get us to watch it and to get our kids or, the next generation to watch it. And I just don't see that happening. I don't see Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures, there we go, I said it right, taking the world by storm. And I'm looking at the comments section right now. It's got 113,000 views with 2,421 thumbs up, 312 thumbs down. So it doesn't look like we're going to have another Star Wars Rebels fiasco, Resistance fiasco. So that goes to show you right there that Star Wars Resistance just wasn't liked. It wasn't the fans are attacking. It's people just didn't like the fucking trailer. People don't like the show. I am on the Star Wars Facebook. I joined gave their page a like years ago. So whenever they post an official clip from Resistance, I go and I just read the comments, and they're mostly negative. This show sucks. Why is this still on? And then there's a couple going, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's for my kids. And then people are like, oh, whatever. So there's just that argument going on about that show. And so far, I don't see that underneath this video. I see people asking, oh, can only kids watch this? Can't adults watch it? Believe me, people are going to watch this from all ages, but it's not enough to get the kids to become lifelong Star Wars fans. And you're not going to really redeem this. This isn't your Darth Vader moment, Lucasfilm. You're not going to go back and tell your sister you were right. No, we're not going to have that. It's just too late for so many people. That's where I am. That's where most of us listening right now are. So I'm interested to see what you guys think. I'm interested to see how this goes. I'll be paying attention to the views and all that stuff. Do I want it to fail? No, it's a YouTube series. Do I think it'll fail? No, it's just, it's going to exist on YouTube. It's going to live there. It's going to die there. Convenient. And if you understood what that was a reference to, well, then you are a real Star Wars fan. So let's see. We had quite a few super chats roll in, so let me acknowledge these. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for helping the channel out. We're kicking ass. We're growing again. And thank you to everybody. Believe me, I think about this every day, how fortunate I am. So we read Mareth the Alines. Billy Ritchie says, you see Bethesda shit the bed with Fallout 76 Collector's Edition using crappy bag materials and its 200 Collector's Edition. What's your take? Oh, God. Okay, so I have not heard about the Collector's Edition using crappy bags. Let me pull it up. But I have been following the Bethesda story with Fallout 76. I watch the quartering videos like all of you, but I also watch a channel called LGR. And that guy's a very level-headed, easygoing guy, but even he didn't have many positive things to say. When I see somebody like him kind of rip into a game, then I know it's bad, because he seems so, very thorough, but understanding, and he doesn't rely on outrage. His videos are mostly, computer component parts and stuff. It's really relaxing. It's like the video equivalent of that theme song I play during all of my live action videos. So, $200 Fallout 76 bag, promised fancy bag, delivers nylon trash instead. Oh, okay. Okay, Forbes has responded. Here we go, folks. So, Bethesda offers players $5 in microtransactions for issue with $200 Fallout 76 Power Arm Edition. After somehow managing to shoehorn Fallout 76 into my review of Red Dead Online yesterday, I swore I was going to take a break for a while. But Bethesda is just the gift that keeps on giving. This time, thanks to their handling of a rather ridiculous issue with the $200 Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. And now players are not especially happy with the $5 in microtransaction currency they're being given for their troubles. While I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who have buyer's remorse for that just because of the state of the game itself, a further issue has been discovered as players have been shipped a bag that doesn't resemble the one promised in the package. Players are supposed to be receiving a canvas military-style tote bag as one of the items in the package, but they're being given a nylon one instead, much cheaper, crappier material, and that's not all that was promised. Players also began posting screenshots of messages they were receiving from Bethesda's help desk, including one particularly unhelpful one that read, "We are sorry that you aren't happy with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it." These are the kind of stories that you can't make up. I don't even play Bethesda games. I bought, Wolfenstein, the new Colossus last year. Fuck that game. Political rhetoric garbage. Don't even need to play it anymore. Terrible, terrible game. Outside of the story, didn't like the gameplay. But my God, is the story. This is, like the guy said, the author, this is the gift that keeps on giving. This is the story that keeps on giving. It's like, we messed up the game. Now we messed up this. Now we messed up that. It's a canvas tote bag, okay? I used to run an art company selling shirts and stuff. Canvas tote bags can be bought for not a lot. If I was able to get them for about 50 cents for the canvas totes, the kind that you would get at a Kroger or an Aldi to take home the reusable ones, what can't Bethesda get for millions of orders? Let's say they pre-order or pre-sold, 500,000 of these $200 games. Okay, well, if you're buying something in the bulk quantity of 500,000, you're going to get a huge discount. We're talking probably $2 for one of these bags to be produced. But no, you get trash. You get mega trash. I can't believe this is actually happening. This is the kind of story, like I said, you can't buy. Many players have latched onto the tone of that last line, which is hilariously cold, to say the least. But this is just flat out not true. At the time of writing this, you can still buy the Power Armor Edition for $200, which features a clearly canvas bag in the art, and it's listed as much as well. Full-scale wearable T-51 Power Armor helmet with the Westech canvas carrying bag. The wearable helmet faithfully replicates the in-game model and comes with a complete voice modulation speaker, functioning LED headlamp, and a custom VATS sound feature. Update: Bethesda said that this person was a contract employee and that the support response was incorrect. Oh my God. That's all I can say is, oh my God, Jesus. This is hilarious. Okay, honest question. I'm looking at the chat right now. Press 1 if you would ever trust Bethesda again, or press 2 if you want to see him disappear. I'm going to wait a moment, because Bethesda is one of those names associated with gaming, but nobody is too mighty to fall. Look at Konami. Konami's kind of a joke. Capcom doesn't really do much. Okay, so we got two, lots of twos. Jesus, people did not want them around. We got 1. Okay. So it looks like the people that listen to this show are less forgiving. So I guess that if I ever promise you a canvas bag, I have to deliver a canvas bag, because there's no reason not to. There's no way I can get away with it. Take EA with them. Jeez. What is it about? I'm talking about my Culture War series. I feel like these video games, these big stories, have to be included in the Culture War series, because it's all about how the producers of entertainment see us, the consumers of entertainment. They see us as stupid. They see us as desperate. They see us as gullible, or a gullah calf. I, for one, do not like to feel disrespected as a consumer. Now, I don't expect to say I don't like your game after putting 35 hours into it and get a refund. No, no, no. That's unrealistic. That's just a a risk you take when you purchase a video game. But at the same time, this contract employee in quotation marks, or EA, don't like it, don't buy it. Well, people aren't buying it. We're going to talk about that. Believe me, people aren't buying your products. It doesn't just start with Star Wars, and it doesn't end with Star Wars. Currently, it's Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star geek culture things. They think that now with the Bethesda thing, it's not about subverting your expectations and changing your political views and feeding you a line of garbage. That's not the case. With that, it's more of a consumer thing, but it's a part of the cultural shift in terms of entertainment. As a generation of console gamers that have accepted DLC, we've also willingly accepted unfinished games that require 50, 60, 70, 100 gigabyte patches on day one. We've accepted incomplete products because we constantly throw our money. Here, I'd like to pre-order. I'll pay it off right now. See, the video game debacle is a two-way street. It's not just them. It's also us. It's a lack of patience. It's a lack of dedication to a complete product. And it's also a lack of, I don't want to say lack of self-respect, but you throw your money at this so willy-nilly, and these companies just think, oh, well, what was that game? Not Beyond Midnight. That's not even a game. The one, the planetary one where you would travel and they'd promise you like 47 billion different configurations, and they didn't deliver. Advent Horizon, no. Event Horizon, that's a movie. I know what you guys are talking about, but you guys know what I'm talking about, excuse me. But that game allowed No Man's Sky. There we go. No Man's Sky. Something. I knew it was the space game. That game was a debacle that they're still trying to make up for. They have all of these things that come out incomplete. I told you Metal Gear Solid 2 the other day. Good game, complete game. Not a perfect game, but damn fun. And yes, I hate riding as much as you. But I don't play that game and have a game-breaking glitch. At least I don't now. I've owned it for the Xbox, the Substance version, and I've never had that problem. I haven't had that problem with, for example, Nintendo games. But I've had those problems, massive problems, with like a wrestling game. I know you guys hate when I talk about wrestling. All I'm going to say is this. You buy the game, there's game-breaking glitches. There used to be a glitch where if you used a created wrestler and you fought a real wrestler and tried to steal their move, the game, what would happen is the wrestlers would freeze in place and they would slide to the ring posts. And then they would stretch apart like some Slender Man shit. The game was broken. They put it out like that. 2 years in a row, they never fixed the bugs. You see, a lot of these games, especially the annual releases, they put just enough in to, we updated AJ Styles tights, and now Alexa Bliss looks more like Alexa Bliss, but the gameplay's still fucking garbage. I didn't even buy their game this year. For a guy that talks, I'm not really much of a gamer. I guess underneath it all, I really am. I just never knew how to connect my interest in gaming with your interest in what we talk about here on the channel. I mean, I'm playing through Spider-Man. Game of the year for me. Fantastic. Love it. DLC seems worth it. Still in the main storyline. But as a guy that plays video games, as a guy that has read the Spider-Man comics for most of his life, actually, I've read most of the issues that exist. I think the game is a solid 9 out of 10. Well, maybe a 10 out of 10. I don't know. What else do I want out of the game? I'm in love with it. I think it's fantastic. But I feel like I got a complete story. And that game kept getting pushed back. And well, when it came out, doorbusters, gangbusters, all of it. It was a doorbuster sale on Black Friday. But Fallout 76, they pulled the old Hucklebuck on you with the game. They pulled it with the DLC, this, canvas bag. Bethesda has not only damaged their IP of Fallout, they've also damaged their brand of Bethesda games. Think back to No Man's Sky. So many people will not buy their next game. There may not be a next game from the creators of No Man's Sky. It's a big possibility that there will not be another Fallout game. There will not be another big Bethesda game. Because it's different when you shit the bed and course correct. But Bethesda has not only shit the bed, they've shit every bed in the entire neighborhood, and nobody's cleaning it up. It's mistake after mistake after mistake after a lack of accountability. So they've announced, I've heard their response they made a mistake. Look, your $5 microtransaction means nothing. You gave away nothing. You didn't do anything. Oh, we're giving you $5 in in-game money. That shit costs you nothing. Give me the canvas bag you promoted. Give me what you guaranteed. Do not sell me some bullshit and tell me, don't sell me gold and tell me it's, don't sell me bullshit and tell me it's gold. Don't do me that. Don't do me like that as a consumer. Don't do me like that as somebody who puts my faith in you. I don't call for boycotts. I never will. But I'll tell you this from my standpoint, never pre-order a Bethesda game. Wait till reviews come out and wait to see what people that you like and people that you respect online have to say about it. And that is what companies don't want. They want you to blindly buy. But you know why I blindly bought Super Smash Brothers? Because Super Smash Brothers 1 through 4 were excellent. It's Nintendo. Maybe they're archaic in certain policies. Maybe they do this, maybe they do that. But I've never bought a Mario game that was broken. I've never purchased a Zelda game that didn't work. I never owned a Metroid game up until Metroid Prime, and that was a complete game. And I know that was released through that studio down in Texas. That was more of an American thing, but it was still a Nintendo product. That is why I can pull out a Wavebird from 16 years ago, and it still works. I have put my good faith in them as a brand, and for what I do buy from them, it always works. It always delivers. Sony, I've had, let's not use Sony. Let's use Microsoft. I don't necessarily trust them as much as I would trust other companies. I've had an Xbox 360 that broke twice. Okay. Well, then I fixed my Xbox 360. Well, then my original Xbox broke. For Microsoft being, the number 3 company, I guess now, I don't think I'll ever buy another one of their consoles based on, if I get one, it'll have to be because the Xbox One X is super cheap. But they've broken on me. They've broken on me quite a bit. Never had a broken PlayStation, never had a broken Nintendo. So consumer confidence is important. See, it all rolls back into the Star Wars stuff, anything out there. If you are a content producer, me, Jeremy, Ethan, anybody out there, we don't have the luxury of IPs. We don't have the luxury of these brands. These other companies do. We have to put out our stuff and always work hard at it. These places are just like, well, it's Fallout. We've made some of our fucking Fallout pop vinyl figures. We can just phone this one in and still be okay. It's going to be a Merry Christmas, folks. I hope the people that make this game get it right by Christmas, because I'd feel bad. It's like being a kid and getting the coolest robot toy at Christmas, but you didn't get batteries to play with it. I got Fallout for Christmas, but it doesn't work. Oh, that's okay. In 3 weeks, we're going to release a patch. It'll work. Great, but it's Christmas. I got to go to work tomorrow. I wanted to enjoy my day off and play Fallout all day and eat ham and get into a food coma. Shit, that's what I wanted to do on Christmas, but Bethesda ruined Christmas. That should be the title of this video. Bethesda ruins Christmas. Man yells at sky, Bethesda ruins Christmas. I don't like it. I don't like I don't like where we're going. It's not about, me getting on an Apple box because I'm already tall enough and, spouting about society, but even just as a guy who has no insider information, no insider knowledge, and all of you that listen to this show daily, you guys have to be aware of all the things that are happening to the way we consume entertainment and how we're basically losing the ability to get a complete product, the most basic thing. It's like going to dinner. Oh, you enjoyed your meal? Well, this side dish, which is included on the menu, is now an extra $4. But I wanted the green beans that came with the meal. Sir, it's now $4. This isn't an a la carte place. This isn't Morton's. This is O'Charlie's, where you get 2 side dishes with your meal. But for some reason, they keep messing it up. They've altered the deal. I'll pray they don't alter it any further, because soon you're going to just be buying empty boxes. And, when your games take up 400 gigabytes of space on a 500 gigabyte console, enjoy your PlayStation 4 Fallout Edition, because that's all you can play on said system. So, that was a super long rant from a super chat. Where did that come from? That was Billy Ritchie. There we go, guys. If you want rants, you know what to do. Seriously though, I just can't believe, as somebody who I would consider myself looking from the outside in on the Bethesda situation, there's that viral Snapchat video from about a week ago where people wanted a refund and they were freaking out, and now there's this. I think that Bethesda's Fallout 76 is the Hindenburg of the modern day game. I can't think of a greater catastrophe. It's the Titanic. It's everything rolled into one. You're watching a spectacular explosion. It's beautiful to the eyes for a moment, but then you realize the aftermath. And the aftermath for Bethesda games isn't they're going out of business instantly, but you've ruined your Fallout IP. Your little Pip Boy, that little smiling blonde guy, he's not going to sell too much merchandise anymore. You may make more money on back catalog games than you do moving forward with new stuff. I covered how Bethesda on Good Morning Pop Culture needed to update their engine because their engine was full of glitches and bugs, and it's not cute anymore. Well, now it doesn't work. You don't work, guys, and whatever happens may happen. Let's see. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. This would have been good for EU stories. Shame. Back to the Star Wars topic. Yes, I agree. It would have been excellent. That is how you, okay. Hire Harrison Ford's son and a couple other sound-alike voice actors. I hate to admit it. If they did that, I'd watch every single one. I'd be like, oh my God, this is what happened with Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is what happened here. This is what happened there. Oh, I'm hooked. But guys, Star Wars is my second favorite movie of all time. I can quote it with like 90% accuracy. I don't need to watch an animated version of it. All I'm going to do is go, well, that's not what happened in the movie. And then somebody said, well, it's not meant to. But why would you adapt the movie and change it? It's like one of the best movies ever made. It's perfect. Well, for the next generation, why is the next generation held to a lower standard? You see, that kind of conversation will always come up with me in entertainment and Star Wars because our popular culture shapes us. We shape it. So it's always a reflection of us, and we're a reflection of it. The new movies, new games, they're just not complete. They're stupid. There's always an excuse. I don't teach, but my cousin's a teacher, and the kids today seem to be held to a lower standard than I was in 1998, a whopping 20 years ago. They would say, oh man, times have changed in 20 years. Yeah, no shit. Lots have changed. But you'd think you'd want kids to be smarter. Things would be stricter and harder as competition grows greater from international markets and all of these things. But no, that's not the case. They just, they don't even know how to write their name half the time. Rizzy Lee, excuse me, says, have you read Star Wars Legacy with Cade Skywalker? I have not. I have not read. That's a comic book, right? From Dark Horse. I can see the covers. I have not. Up until recently, if it didn't have Han Solo in it, I wasn't touching it. Now, I'm pretty much the same way, to be honest. But I'm willing to give it a shot if I can find it online to read. Or if somebody wants to send it to our P.O. box, I'll read whatever you guys send. Just don't send War and Peace or any novels. I don't have time to read like that. Salvador, thank you very much. This is their way of getting us to complain about the original trilogy. See, you wanted more original trilogy, and we gave it to you too. Nothing makes you happy, you're toxic. We know this song and dance. They make me sick. You see, I was very cautious the way I worded what I wrote earlier on. I did say that the movies were great and they're already there and you should watch them. I don't even think that was the case, Salvador, underneath it all. I think the case for them is to just milk Star Wars for what it is, because they're 3 years in, they know they've made mistakes. It's funny, yesterday on my Facebook, those flashback things that tell you what you said on this day in the past? Well, yesterday in 2014, I had said something along the lines of, this new trailer for Star Wars sucked. I should have screenshotted it and shared it with everybody, but it's always felt odd to me, this Disneyfication of Star Wars. And this just feels odd too. Some companies exist to make money. They want to sell you a product. You're like, okay, that's fine. I'll buy into it. That's cool. Like I've said before, it's more noble to have a materialistic goal or a financial goal than it is like, oh, I'm going to do this and that. Like, I hate the nefarious plots to subvert our expectations from one round-headed douchebag. I would much rather be told, we made it because we know it made money. Okay, fine. We all understand that. Capitalism. Yay, team. But yeah, Salvador, that could be part of their plan. We'll see. I don't think that this Star Wars cartoon is going to garner the same level of vitriol from the fans. I don't think that it's going to get the Star Wars Resistance treatment. See, the Star Wars Resistance treatment is a much bigger victory/loss, if that makes sense. So, for example, it's to build upon, the reason it exists is to build upon Episode 7, because there's a very valid complaint, valid criticism where people go, Well, how did this happen? Why is it just like the Empire? This, that, and the other. Okay. Well, we're going to show you in Star Wars Resistance. Fine. Where's that? It's on Disney Channel. Okay, it's a kids' channel. My kids will love it. It's on at 10 o'clock on Sundays. Oh, it debuted in the fall. It was school season. Oh, wait. But kids can DVR it. You see, there's always these excuses. If that becomes there's like a battleground over that. And then here's the shit kicker. The fans wanted to make this political, or not political. Well, I guess it would be political. So they go out to Rotten Tomatoes. They fake score the movie. They give all these glowing reviews for this show. They make up fake accounts. It's bullshit. To me, Star Wars Resistance isn't even a TV show. It's a battleground, an us versus them, Disney and its blind loyalists versus the real fans of Star Wars type of thing. I don't think we're going to get that, Salvador, with this this Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. I kind of said it right that time. I don't think we'll get that here. It's too... I don't know. I think it's going to be too much under the radar. Look at the numbers now. It's got 113,000 views. Great, awesome. But I think a lot of people are just going to forget this. You know what? The point I wanted to make earlier is, animation-wise, this looks cheaper and more poorly done than that Star Wars anime fan film. That thing looked amazing. This, no, not so much. The only positive I have is that they used the clips from the movie. And even then, I'm a little pissed because Han Solo's in the wrong costume. They put him in his Solo a Star Wars story suit to be like an Empire Strikes Back. Those are the problems that, well, you're just too much of a fan. Well, here's the thing, too. When, like with the games, when you allow a lack of quality control, like where does that stop and start? Well, Han Solo's in the wrong costume. Okay. Well, then Luke has the wrong lightsaber. Well, then Darth Vader would be dead at this point. Well, then Smithers is black instead of... You get what I'm saying? Where do you stop? I think you should always stop these things right away and never let them out with the mistakes. Like, for example, I had worked on Stealing Solo, and there's a part where Nick puts on a Rambo-style headband. And in the next panel, I forgot to draw it in, and I was like pages ahead, and I was like, shit, I had to go back, re-render it, redraw it, do all these things. It's just continuity issue. There are basic things like that. Where do you stop and start with quality control? Bethesda, Star Wars, Lucasfilm, everybody. Our entertainment suffers a lack of quality control. I think that is the big thing to take away from all of this. Pick something that you like and watch today. I'll show you where there's a lack of quality control. Chris Wick says, sup, Jeff? What's new? Because definitely not Disney. Amen to that. You know what's up. Not new from Disney. You know, they used to have those like VHS promos like new from Disney. Now, something else from Disney, old from Disney, a rehash from Disney, be it Lion King or Star Wars. Wait till they remake Toy Story in 4K. Same movie, they just re-rendered the effects. But Andy's a girl and from Laos. So there you go. The Pui, good morning, Jeff. Enjoy the P.O. Box video. Thank you. The Pui, thank you very much. I have your little gift right here. Like I said, I couldn't wait to open it. And the first thing I noticed was the quality of it. It's a very well-made figure. The paint is on point, so I don't know if you just picked one off the shelf or you picked a specific one, but the eyes... See, I'm one of those people, when I pick up a toy, if I'm going to buy it, I see if there's multiple of it, and then I see which one has the best paint. And I usually go for the face. Like, I can buy like a Cyclops if he has a messy like X on his chest, but if his face is perfect. But if he has a perfect face and a perfect X, I go for the other one. But this little guy that you sent me is awesome, and I hate to say it, I kind of want to get the rest of the people in the set because they're all in scale and it's cool. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, go back and watch the P.O. Box video. It's a lot of fun. And send us some stuff, and we'll give you a shout-out on the video, and we'll open it and have some fun. A lot of people really want me to do one of these around Christmas. So I guess I could wait to see what comes. If enough stuff comes by Christmas, we'll do one on Christmas. Or by Christmas, I should say. Shit. Could do a live one and be like, hey, let's open gifts from world-class bullshitters. I don't know. I'll get a fire and a Christmas tree in my office. Well, I won't set my office on fire. That'd be stupid. But you guys get what I'm getting at. Salvador says, Star Wars, crap galaxy of misadventures. It's going to be an interesting misadventure, to say the least. I don't know what to say outside of that, man. I think you hit the nail on the head. Cesaria Japan, thank you very much. More infuriating, Bethesda changed their description to vinyl on their site, while Amazon/Best Buy still have canvas on their limited edition pages. I guess they're really trying to avoid a lawsuit. This is how you get lawsuits. You want lawsuits? This is how you get them, Bethesda. Did they change management? Because I don't follow Bethesda. Like I said, prior to my Wolfenstein purchase, I had respect for them. I played Fallout 3 for a little bit. I enjoyed the exploding head and the eyeballs. Played a little bit of New Vegas. Never touched 4. So I just had this respect, much like I'm trying to think of another company, like a Valve. I've played a little bit of Orange Box. I owned it at one point. I played a little bit of the Half-Life 2, and then I loved the Portal game. But that was about it. I had respect, but not a lot of knowledge about them as a company. Now that respect is gone. Could they just come out and say, like, it's like day after day, there's new thing that's hitting. I can't wait to see what happens to them next Christmas. Are they going to have a big game for Christmas? I don't know. Will they ever live this down? I don't know. This has been a spectacular failure. I've never seen anything like this. Battlefield, EA has a bunch of other games. When I think of Bethesda, I think of just Fallout, and they have, whatchamacallit. I just said it a moment ago. Wolfenstein. The only people that are very happy about this Fallout situation are the creators of Diablo, because the magnifying glass is no longer on them. They're no longer the ants on fire. They're just like, whew, thank God, somebody else is fucking up, and we can just go back to something else. Diablo thanks Bethesda Games. Black Angus Review says nearly 200 subs. Any advice for going forward, friends and I? Black Angus Reviews, let's see, what suggestions do I have for you? Always make content, even when there are days like that seem like, well, we haven't gained any subscribers, we haven't gotten any views. Just keep making stuff, because you never know. That next video could be your million-viewed video. So just keep moving forward. Always be excited, and be honest with your listeners. Don't create gimmicks or lie. That is my advice. And if you ever need more, let me know. Hugh Jass says, MJ was SJW and ugly. Her mission sucked. Yes to both, but I've only gotten so far to play one MJ mission. What I did in this game is I do all the side quests. Like, I got all the backpacks, and I took all the photos, and I'm doing all the hideouts for the Martin Lee gang. That's what I'm playing. I'll admit, I can't stand Mary Jane. I like my Mary Jane to be a model, to be smoking a cigarette, to be getting yelled at by Aunt May, to be worried about Peter Parker, not, oh, I work at the Bugle. You know who should work at the Bugle? J. Jonah Jameson. You know who doesn't? J. Jonah Jameson. But his damn podcast is incredible. It is bizarre, though, to see that the Dan Slott era of Spider-Man is being adapted now. We have Into the Spider-Verse, which is based off some Dan Slott garbage. We now have this upcoming female Spider-Man movie, which is based on some Dan Slott garbage, in this game, which is partially based on some Dan Slott garbage. That is why Black Cat's boobies can't be shown. Let's see. Julio Acesus. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I had no coffee. I'm just like pulling off my energy reserves right now. I just got to get going. What if the sequel trilogy was an alternate timeline of the EU books, like when Dave Filoni rewrote history with the Clone Wars show? Well, Julio, that's a good what if. I would be, if they, okay, let me put it like this. If they can somehow, no, they can't. I was going to say maybe they can somehow rewrite episodes 7 and 8 through a timeline shift and all this other crap, and we can get Han, Luke, and Leia and all that. No, they fucked up. Disney Star Wars is dead to me. At least from a fan point of view. It's all business now. I don't think they can. I don't think they care, honestly. You know, here's the thing. There are a couple levels. There is Disney, Lucasfilm, the producers of Star Wars. Then there are the shills. Then there are the pro-Star Wars sites underneath them. And then on our side of this graph would be just the fandom menace. It's all one level. Nobody's greater than the other. But you got these big shill channels that kiss ass, that toe the company line, that are falling apart every single day because people have been awakened to their garbage. Again, no pun intended. And then you got the people that these blind defenders, the ones who'll say, it's for kids, don't watch it. Don't watch She-Ra Princess of Power. It's like, where can you draw the line with criticism and entertainment? Nothing is above being able to be critiqued, good or bad. I mean, again, something as great as Metal Gear Solid 2, I still have critiques. I was singing Spider-Man's praises, I still have critiques. This hiding behind the kids line and this and that is what the shills do. It just can't be saved. But the thing is, at the top, Disney just doesn't care. They see that people are talking about it. They see numbers. They see analytics. They go, oh, okay, Star Wars is still popular, whatever. People would say, I find it hard to believe that they're so out of touch. Listen to this Orson Welles documentary and realize how out of touch celebrities can be out in Hollywood. Believe me, they're all busy getting their colonics and drinking their crappuccinos and all this crap. So enjoy watching Star Wars die as fans because they don't care. They think, oh, we shipped 400 million Rose Tico figures to stores. How many did they sell? 2. Perfect. We shipped 400 million Rose Tico stores to stores. Perfect. That's it. That's their end game. So that'd be a great what if. I don't know if that'll ever be the case. See, J.J. Abrams has never been tasked to finish a sequel or a movie. He starts it, he leaves. Like Doomcock says, he comes in, he lays waste to the grounds, and then he goes on his own merry way. We got to see. This is important. This is the biggest thing from episode 9 is to see how J.J. Abrams actually completes something. Because we know he's out of ideas. And how do I know that? Well, listen to Poe Dameron speak. Well, it's, we have senioritis. It's more of a relaxed environment, this, that, and the other. When they were making Solo a Star Wars story, they were strict. They had their fingers, up someone's ass. But now it's okay and it's cool to, allow them to just be willy-nilly. Oh, it's JJ. It'll be fine. No, it won't be. I'm really interested to see what happens. Mr. V says, here's some money Bethesda won't be getting anymore. Well, thank you, Mr. V. I'm going to take the super chat and use it to do a Christmas fund. I don't know, for Christmas pizza or Christmas gift for mom. I don't know. Christmas pizza sounds cool. I guess I have to buy it 2 days before. Nah. Christmas ham. Christmas rum ham. There we go. A Christmas rum ham. Actually, speaking of Christmas, we just finalized our Christmas plans. Kind of excited for, what's going to come next. Normally, we have to go to my mom's boyfriend's, and he's nice. He buys a ham, but it's really boring over there. He's got an old TV, and he thinks it's new because it's a flat screen, but it doesn't have HDMI. I'm just like, dude, you have the money to buy a nice TV. I would give you a TV if you put it up. Oh, he had a VCR until it broke like 2 years ago. I don't get it either. But okay, so let's see what we're going to talk about next. What did I have planned? Oh yeah, I did have a lot of stuff planned this morning. So do we want to talk about Doctor? You know what? While we're talking about games for a minute, because we'll get into Doctor Who. Doctor Who is going to be a little longer because I wanted to actually read you guys something to discuss the Doctor Who situation. So this is about Battlefield. It says Battlefield 5 physical sales are down more than 1/2 of Battlefield 1. So first off, your numbering is weird. You go from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5. So Battlefield 5 officially launched in shops last Tuesday, the 20th of November. Enough time to give it 5 days on sale during its launch week, but sold fewer than half the physical copies Battlefield 1 did upon its launch, which was only on sale for about 3 days. Now, it sounds like bad news for Battlefield 5, and it is, but there's a couple of caveats. So they're going to talk about the digital sales and this and that. But I guess what they're not going to talk about in this article is the fact that Battlefield 5 is now on sale for half price. If you look up Battlefield 5, you can get it for $30, brand new, but it's $29.99 at Target. It's $40 at Walmart, GameStop, and Best Buy and eBay. So if you guys really need a copy of Battlefield 5, which I don't think anybody needs a copy of Battlefield 5, you can go grab your copy for half price. Much like Fallout should be $10 or free or nothing. It almost makes it hard to justify a full price game purchase. Hell, Spider-Man, the game I'm singing its praises, I got it on sale. Only Red Dead Redemption was paid for full price. And that is definitely a well-made game, deserving of the DLC price that I paid of $100. But overall, games are getting harder to sell at full price. And if we're looking at the Black Friday sales, Battlefield 5 comes in at number 4, underneath FIFA, Black Ops, and Red Dead Redemption. And then the close out of the top 10, we got Forza, Spider-Man, Fallout, Let's Go Pikachu, Spyro Trilogy, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I need to get that game. I need to play Jeremy and Mario Kart 8. I feel like he and I would have a good time. Maybe we could spell Mario Kart with a QZ or something in there. Dayton Pfeiffer, thank you very much for the super chat. I never thought I would be sick and tired of seeing the Millennium Falcon. Thanks a lot, Disney. Yeah, man, I kind of rolled my eyes when I saw the Falcon. The first thing I thought is, oh, great, they just animated over the model work from Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back. That was Empire Strikes Back because it was going through the asteroid field. So now that I know that it's just a rehash of the old Star Wars movies, I don't know, man. Leave it to Disney/modern Lucasfilm to make us hate what we love. I think the biggest problem from all of this is the messaging, the branding, the problem, the inconsistency on their end. Last year, you wanted us to forget classic Star Wars. This year, when you're fucking desperate, you want us to embrace classic Star Wars. It's not about getting kids geared up for Episode 9, because if this is your plan for getting kids geared up for Episode 9, good luck, because they're going to watch Episodes 1 through 8 first. Here's the thing, Disney. Even if you want to go back to this, look at it this way. If the master plan was to hook them while they're young, like the guy in Dogma says, great. But they're going to eventually come to love Luke and Leia and Han and all these great characters. And then they're going to watch them come to the demise that they do at the hands of Disney. So all you're going to do is set kids up this generation for the same disappointment that we faced. And they're young. It's going to hit them harder. See, while we did have 40 years of Star Wars and then we're massively disappointed with Episode 7, well, at least I was, we were adults. We had other things. We understood it was just a movie. Part of it tugged at your heartstrings, but part of it really got to you. If you're some 6-year-old kid and you're like, man, Luke Skywalker's cool, and you go on these adventures for 9 months, 10 months, hell, almost a whole calendar year, you're watching Luke Skywalker go on these great adventures, and then you're like, Dad, can I see all the Star Wars movies? And the dad's like, sure, son. So you sit through all of them, and the kid is okay with the prequels, but he loves Luke Skywalker. 4, he loves him. 5, he sympathizes with him. 6, he's awesome. 8, he's a dick. And the kid goes, what happened to Luke? See, kids aren't as dumb as you want us to think, Disney. If kids can pick up on certain subtleties, and kids will pick up on the fact that Luke Skywalker became a dick. Beyond a dick, a space dick. You know how that goes. He's an asshole. He is just a shell of himself. And all you're going to do is set up generations for that. And if you try to embellish on Leia like they are, I saw her kick a stormtrooper, they're going to try to make her look more badass and cool. Well, when those little girls watch the movies, they'll enjoy Leia because she's cool. They're like, but she didn't do the flips and stuff like in the cartoon. Well, that's Disney embellishing and trying to hook your kids on something that's not even there. Yeah, people are really upset about all this stuff. Benobi, I'm glad you're going to get Spider-Man for the PS4. May I make a suggestion to everyone out there? I don't want to say it like if you're a true Spider-Man fan, because I don't want to sound like a dick, but if you're like me, a Spider-Man purist, once you upgrade your suit, put on your classic suit, repair it, and then you can get all the upgrades. So if you don't like that white spider suit, like I hate, you do not have to wear it at all. Just putting that out there. Man, people are just pissed off. I'm just loving I'm loving the chat right now. Guys, how many people got? About 400 people watching? Can we get 453? Can we get 453 thumbs up? Help this channel grow. We've been kicking a lot of ass. Let's keep kicking ass. Let's keep the momentum high. We don't want to stop. Cannot stop, will not stop. Buck, 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 wow. Let's see. Saw Mecha Random's review of Galaxy of Adventures last night, and it deeply concerns me. I feel that is a part of Lucasfilm's plan to kill the past. You see, I think that was last year's plan to kill the past. Guys, look at it like this. Money is all they care about at the top. There is like, okay, I don't know these things, but this is just me putting together as a fan. In the hierarchy of money or Hollywood, like at the tip top is money. The shaggy tip top. Now there's like a slight step, and then there's the ideology. As long as ideology doesn't trump money, like in terms of like, let's say Mr. X doesn't really care about the message of Star Wars as long as it makes him X amount of dollars. Well, when the ideology trumps that and it causes him to lose money, Mr. X wants the money back. That is what Disney is. Disney is Mr. X. Last year was literally kill the past. And they did. They killed Luke. They've killed Han. They've really just killed Leia metaphorically. And so even now, articles have to talk about how The Last Jedi was divisive, how it ruined Star Wars. They can't ignore it anymore. Because if you listen to all my old videos, go back and watch them. Go listen to the articles that I talk about and react to and write my own things about. How they're always ignoring the fact that The Last Jedi was a failure in terms of reaction from the fans. They always wanted to act like it was this great movie and that a small vocal minority didn't like it. But now they acknowledge up to half. So it just keeps growing and growing. It's like, well, half the audience didn't like it. But, 6 months ago, you told me I was just like one of 10 people. The narrative is changing because the truth is starting to come out. The money isn't there. These people need the money because it has to funnel down to these shill sites somehow. If Star Wars doesn't have the budget allotment to send out 500 reporters from all over the world, well, you can't shill hard enough because there are no spots open. You get what I'm saying? So it's beyond that. Last year's killing the past is over. This year, it's what's in vogue. Oh, the original Star Wars. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, because you tried to give us this new take on Han Solo and the classic characters. The only person that came out kind of decent was Chewbacca. Why? Because he doesn't speak. He just goes, and that's it. You can't really ruin it. It's a tall guy in a wool suit. It looks the same. Same with the droids. That's why, as unpopular as my opinion was, I thought a Boba Fett movie should have gone forward. Oh, they're just going to ruin Boba Fett. Maybe. But if you're going to make Star Wars movies based in the past, at least use the things that don't age, that are timeless, so you can at least pull us back in there mentally. Because at the end of the day, I think we'd all love to be entertained by these movies, but they just suck. We're too smart for it. So we can't. We can't allow ourselves to shut off our brains and just blindly accept. You see, there's a guy I know, doesn't listen to this show, but I'm not going to name him anyway. Great dude, great dad. But he blindly buys into everything. And he's a really successful dude. And you think, well, they always tell you, follow the successful people. Not in this case. Maybe on a family level, I'd follow him, but not on an entertainment taste. Because I see this guy every, once or twice a year, and I'm just like, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. How can you blindly accept everything? He's like, this is so great. This is so great. Like, everything new is so great to this dude. It's like, if everything is so great, what actually is great? Because if everything's great, then that's the norm. That's the average. And everything's just, great is okay. There's no bad to make anything great. I don't critique Star Wars to be, antisocial or to fight the, what people like. I just can't find anything of quality in these movies. And when other people can't, in big numbers, and people don't buy toys, like when I went to GameStop, I got some footage I never showed. Only Jyn Erso and Rey were clearanced. Kylo Ren and the Stormtrooper knockoffs and these other figures in Snoke were all full price. But for some reason, these new female leads of Star Wars were being clearanced out because they're just, they're toxic waste at retail. I don't know why Disney's moving forward. Well, excuse me, they were moving forward. Now we're going to get it changed. I bet you we see Poe Dameron and Finn be more in demand or in command male characters. They're not going to be played for jokes like historically they have been. You're not going to see Finn in a water suit spurting, oh, where's Rey? He's just going to be his own man. Same with Poe Dameron. You're not going to see Holdo because she's dead, thankfully. That's the greatest thing Disney's ever done in the history of their existence, to kill that fucking character. There's never been a shittier character. But you'll see these changes, and they won't announce them. You see, the media is, the strong woman character, and they're going to keep pushing that because you got all these weirdos on these websites that want to push it every day. Guys aren't intimidated by the strong female characters. Women aren't empowered by them either because they're dumb, strong, in quotation, female characters. They don't use their brains. They don't have anything that makes them relatable to us. The plot falls apart for their convenience. That is the complaint a lot of us have. It's not because of a gender, it's because of a lack of quality storytelling and a lack of standards that they're held to. It's the oldest problem with these Mary Sue like characters, male or female. And I love when people want to throw Luke Skywalker's a Mary Sue, because I just want to smack you in the face because you never watched the movies. That is how you can end a lot of these arguments with these people out there, folks. Did you watch it? Well, no, but I remember. No, but you remembered wrong. Watch it again. Just tell them to watch it again and they'll shut up. All you got to do is pay attention to said thing that you want to, hide behind and use to shield your cause, your agenda. And it really never had a place for it in there. Star Wars is a bigger story than, left versus right. It's a good versus evil story. The gray area isn't the most interesting part of Star Wars. It's the good versus evil. Once you get to Return of the Jedi and the conflict, then you elevate some of the gray areas. But overall, for episodes 4 and 5, it's just straight good versus evil. And then when you hear the reveal of Vader as your father, what? It's a whole nother level. What is destroying our movies, games, comics, and TV? Glad they can't do it to our food. You say that, but they probably have done it to our food. We just don't realize it yet. It's Soylent Green. Let's see. Respect women. Sure, I'll respect women. I don't know what a whammon is. I do. I know the PewDiePie joke. I may say, I don't watch PewDiePie, and I don't, but he's cool enough in my book. He's doing something right. That's all I can say. They should kill off Finn in the first 5 minutes of episode 9. His character is such a mess, isn't worth the effort to salvage. They should kill him off. They should kill off all the characters. I would love... We've all seen The Simpsons, right? There's an episode where Homer voices Poochie on the Itchy and Scratchy show, and it's like Poochie was killed on the way to his home planet. That's how the Star Wars crawl starts. Tragedy. Our heroes from Crate have died. The Millennium Falcon was destroyed on impact from an asteroid, and now we continue the adventures of our new protagonists. And it's just like, Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sally. There we go. And that's our new Star Wars movie. People are just like, huh? And I bet you people go like, that was okay, though. That was okay, though. Finn should have a heroic death. He should just have a death. That's all I can say. Guys, if you want more information on Article 13, go watch the the film theory video. It's a very well put together piece. See, that's the stuff I'd like to make if I was able to put out a video a week, but I got to do it every day. And I'm kind of like, I couldn't do that in a single day. I just don't have I could write it and record it. If somebody else was like, audio from here and make it cool, I could write and record shit all day long. If you guys would stare at a blank screen while I talked and waxed philosophically, great, we could make that happen. But that's not what YouTube's for. But just check that out. Mirror Jeremy says, morning, Jeff. Did you see the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yes, I did, Mirror Jeremy. We talked about that in the beginning of the show. I'm going to put out a single release video about it again. I feel like it's too important of a topic not to cover. I might do a hybrid of my clip from here as well as some of my points that I make later on. I don't know, but I am going to talk about that again in a single release video because some people just don't have the patience to wait through the podcast in the morning. That's fine. That's fine. Finn should die on the toilet. Hey, if he does, hey, I think Elvis died in the bathroom. So if it's good enough for Elvis, it's good enough for Finn. So Doctor Who has been a hotbed for controversy as of late. Now, like I said, I have a passing interest in Doctor Who at best anymore. Well, actually, no, anymore. I just don't give a fuck. At its peak, or at the peak of my interest in Doctor Who, I loved the show. I thought David Tennant was the man. I couldn't watch enough of it. But now it's become entrenched in politics. And I'm going to read something that I found to be interesting. Now, these aren't my words. They come from Screen Rant, but they fill you guys in on the Doctor Who situation. So if you'll bear with me, it's a lengthy read, not going to take an hour, not even 10 minutes, maybe 5. But my point is, stick with me, and then we're going to form a conversation based off of that, because I get asked Doctor Who questions all the time. And now my stance, the official stance of this channel, which is always my stance, no one else's, hate to say it, but when Dion claims to be a feminist, don't listen to him. Don't unsubscribe. Listen to me, because I make the content. But the official stance of this channel on Doctor Who is, it just doesn't make sense to do what they've done with Doctor Who, to politicize it, to ruin it for a majority, or not a majority, excuse me, a portion of the audience. It was good. It was great at certain times. It's gone downhill. Even before the politics got infused into the show, it was on a downward trajectory. So I don't have any problem with Jodie Whittaker as a person. I don't have any problems with... Okay, I don't like the Daleks because they look like they have plungers on their arms, but that's a topic for another day. But I just want to get that out there before anybody that listens to the recorded version of this show who thinks, well, this guy just wants to rail about women. It's not about railing on women. There are tons of great female movie characters, TV show characters, all that stuff. But you take a franchise and you try to mold it into today's standards, which really aren't the standards of today. They're the standards of a few. And this article goes on to talk about social media and stuff like that. So I'm going to read this in a moment after the super chat that just came in. And then I'm going to tell you guys, or you guys can tell me what you think, and we'll have a little bit of a Doctor Who discussion for today's show. So let's see. Our super chat came in. We have 3 of them, actually. So thank you very much. First off, we have one from Darth Armo. Says, I'm up early, so here is a super chat. Darth Armo, thank you very much for being up early. I appreciate said super chat. Excellent. Thank you. Grand Inquisitor says, morning, Jeff. I'm tardy to the party. What I miss? Also, Disney Star Wars can suck it. You order any coffee yet? I need to order coffee. That is, I didn't have any coffee today. I was telling the listeners earlier, I lost my coffee pod cleaner, and I'm just like, mentally, I'm just like all over the place. But no, I do need to order that. I keep forgetting. I haven't checked email. I have Kendo check the emails right now because I'm so busy with the comic and all this other crap. But I will, Grand Inquisitor, order that, and I will talk about it for you. I might, on a Good Morning Pop Culture, take the other webcam out and tell you what I ordered and drink it on camera and tell you what I think. I'm excited. Like our friend sent me that Yulmust stuff. It was a King Eric the 15th, which is actually quite a... You know what? Since I can't have a coffee, I'm going to have one of those. Yeah, that's the coolest part about having a show like this. You got people from all over the world to send you stuff. And, ooh, these are still cold. It's like the water from the iceberg and the water boy. It's always cold. It's like this can is always cold. So let's see here. Grab one of these. But Grand Inquisitor, like I said, you'll be the first person to know when I do order that. And thank you again. That was a nice birthday gift. I really, really appreciate it. Didn't expect it, but I really appreciate it. Dan Vinoy, thank you very much. Who do you think will be the most inconsistent character in episode 9? Mahler is running a poll with all his guests. Can't pick Kylo. I need to talk to Mahler. It's been a while. This is so good. Thank you, King Eric. Most inconsistent character in episode 9? I will say Princess Leia. Now, that's kind of a cheat, so I'll give you 2. I would say Princess Leia because she's going to be cobbled together from previous footage and voice sound alikes and all this stuff. It's going to be really awkward to watch her on film. I will say she'll be most inconsistent because she wasn't actually there to make the movie. But in terms of living actors, I'm going to go with Rey. The reason I say that is because Rey will go on to be this great, in quotations, Jedi. She will have all the skill, all the knowledge. She will be this unstoppable force that she's already been, but she'll be even greater. Because why? Because she could swing a stick on a desert planet that wasn't Tatooine in the first movie, which was actually 3 days ago. But that's okay because she doesn't need a man to tell. And you know what I'm saying? It's that kind of shit. And we're going to have more of that. They will double down on Rey. So the reason you would say, well, Jeff, that's consistent with her character arc. But I would say that's inconsistent with logic. You know, Luke is dead. She's not going on these other great adventures. What's going to happen between? I say she's the most inconsistent character of the bunch. There's a rumor that Naomi Ackie actress will be Lando's daughter. Well, that's kind of whatever. And that she's going to bring Lando into the fold, and that's how the Resistance and the Rebel Alliance or whatever all get back together. That could be the case. Who knows? But I'm going to go with Rey will be the most inconsistent character of the new Star Wars films. And damn it, I don't like that one bit. Not one bit at all. So I guess it's time for Doctor Who. Doctor Who cares. That's I don't want to belittle this franchise, this legacy, and it does have a legacy, a legacy longer than Star Wars, almost as great as Star Wars. There were years when Doctor Who wasn't around and people tried to keep it alive. Michael over on Retro Blastin's a big Whovian, much greater than I. It's Tennant or bust. Well, Eccleston's cool and some Matt Smith, but this Rosa Parks shit's gone on too long. Mir Jeremy again, thank you very much. I was just thinking about it. Ray will play the women Indiana Jones. Does Ray have to be female Indiana Jones? Do we need one? We have one, Laura Croft. For anyone out there that's like, oh, we need female Indiana Jones. It's like, yeah, IDOS Publishing beat you to the punch 23 years ago with Tomb Raider, starring Lara Croft, or Laura Croft, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So a female Indiana Jones or his daughter or anything progressive that these motherfuckers think they're coming up with has been done. Like I keep telling these people about the comic books and all these other things. These firsts that these people are clamoring for. I want to be the first to do this. I want to be the first person to do that. You can't, because Stan Lee did it 50 years ago. Sorry. That's why when he died, the world stopped to mourn his death. You person, nobody will even know you're dead. You'll be like Bill Finger, dead in an apartment. Your son will come to get you. You'll bury he'll take your ashes and write the bat signal on the beach. Kind of sad, kind of poetic. So, I digressed. So, Doctor Who. Where'd it go? Shit. Doctor Who, where are you? It's like it's telling me not to do it. Where'd the damn article go? Oh, wait. It opened in a new window. Excuse me. So Doctor Who Season 11 has divided the online fan community. Change has always been hard-baked into Doctor Who. Every regeneration has basically been an opportunity for the series to reinvent itself from the ground up. And since 2005's regenerations have often coincided with a new showrunner with a drastically different vision for the series, that's certainly been the case for Doctor Who Season 11, which saw Jodie Whittaker take over as the 13th Doctor, and at the same time, Chris Chinball took charge. It's funny that she's the 13th Doctor, and number 13 is considered very unlucky. This time around, the debate seems to be more extreme than ever before. In part, that's simply a reflection of the growing power of social media, which allows everybody to air their voice. But it's also because both British and American society is currently going through something of a cultural crisis, with the internet serving as the battleground between different groups with competing visions of what it means to be British, or, as some political commentators argue, English and American. Doctor Who Season 11 is daring to contribute to that conversation, with the changes being made by Chibnall involving series choosing sides in this cultural conflict. Given this is the case, it should come to no surprise that the Season 11 has proven unusually divisive. Here's what we're going to focus on for the specific changes that have been made to Doctor Who Season 11 and examine why they've been so controversial. So I'm not really going to read the female doctor part. I've heard women complain about it. I've seen men complain about it. I really don't need this person's take. It's not a I dislike women thing. You just don't change what works. The companions, a major change in approach. Long-term fans were right that Doctor Who Season 11 would see a very different dynamic on board the TARDIS, but it's not just because of a female doctor. Chibnall decided to switch things in terms of companions and introduce a very diverse group who travel through time and space with the Time Lord. The Doctor's companions, or as Chibnall refers to them, her friends, matter because they're basically the audience surrogate. The companions are the lens through which the Doctor is viewed and understood. That's why there have been so few episodes of Doctor Who without a companion. At the heart of the show, it's the idea that people just like us have stepped up to the doors of the battered old police box and entered the world of adventure. So, okay. By switching up the companions like this, Chibnall is making a powerful statement about the audience he aims to reach. He's telling viewers that he believes the UK has changed and a modern audience is a diverse one. Naturally, some are uncomfortable with this statement and thus frustrated. Others, who perhaps have never suffered racism or prejudice, are simply unable to relate to these new companions. Thus, Doctor Who may have lost its attraction with some viewers, and even as it hopefully reaches a new audience that it never tuned in before. Ugh, I need coffee. So the new companions are a black dude and an Indian woman. Me being me, I don't relate to either one, nor do I care. I never related to a white blonde woman in the past either, but I liked the companions. I liked the romantic aspect between David Tennant and Rose Tyler, and then what's his name, Mickey, back at home. Like, that was her boyfriend there, and the doctor came in. There was already some good stuff going on. You see, these writers think that you change the skin color of a character and that's a good story. That's not a good story. And this is coming from a guy who's not white, who has faced adversity and prejudice and all this other crap they want to hide behind. You know what, Doctor Who? You're turning me off because you're taking out interesting plot developments for the sake of, oh, Britain is changing. Good, let Britain change. But let us change the channel on Doctor Who. If you do stupid shit, people tune out. It's a TV show. We're the consumer. We hold the power. You can, flick your tongue at us and say, oh, we're in control. We're going to do this to reflect the changing climate. But when Doctor Who merchandise doesn't sell, when Doctor Who ratings are going into the toilet, when Doctor Who is no longer a relevant property, this Chris Chibnall dude can fucking diversify himself into an unemployment line. He's not that good. Who is he? I don't really like the Stephen Moffat dude that came in and took over once you had Matt Smith and Amy Pond and all that crap, and Rory was cut out to the Doctor. I liked it when it was earlier on. It was more interesting. They rehashed a lot of stuff. Doctor Who, it's supposed to be the surrogate. This is, the audience. We're supposed to be the audience. Maybe you pick who the audience can relate to the most. Now, here's the part that I wanted to read to you guys. When I saw this article, I just had to bring it up. Doctor Who's growing themes of social justice. Doctor Who has always leaned left-wing, and at times been pretty overt. The Fourth Doctor adventure, The Sunmakers, for example, was a heavy critique of former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher's taxation and privatization policies. The Doctor won by inspiring a popular revolt after quoting Karl Marx. Chris Chibnall has restored the show's social justice edge, and he's done so by focusing in particularly on the themes of racism. Karl Marx. I thought Doctor Who was just kind of weird back in the day, but let's keep this rolling. That's most notable in Rosa, where the time travelers arrived in 1955 and attempted to prevent the civil rights movement from being averted. The true monsters in this episode were the racists in the Deep South, the businessmen, the cop, the waitress, and of course, the bus driver. The episode carefully stressed that the battle against racism is ongoing, with both Ryan and Yaz reflecting their own struggles against prejudice in present-day Sheffield, and the villain was a white supremacist from the 52nd century. You can't make this shit up. Well, they did make this shit up. But a white supremacist from the 52nd century. You failed. The funny thing is, for all the stuff that Doctor Who's trying to push progressively, they're saying that their message failed because you guys think you're changing history. You're going to change the way people look at racism and all this stuff. I look at Doctor Who, and I look at all these shows out there that think they're socially conscious. In many ways, I feel like they're causing the divide greater. Now, I'm a guy who doesn't really care what color someone is. My best friend's black, another friend's white, this, that, and the other. Those things don't matter to me. But a show that exists to show how different things are, or to act like, oh my God, we need to change this. It's like, hey guys, Rosa Parks and all this stuff changed. It's a much different America. It's a much different America. Realistically, the whole infighting on racism is it's bullshit. It's a class thing that you want to argue. Like LeBron James is a multimillionaire. He's going to produce movies. He's one of the best basketball players of all time. Michael Jordan's a billionaire. All these great things. If the world was as bad as Doctor Who said it was, these people wouldn't be given a chance. Well, these athletes, these musicians, these actors, all these people are marketable and talented, and people see through the color of their skin. And they have a platform. They have a voice. They're able to do these things. I'm sorry that Doctor Who thinks it's 1955 still. The only positive about 1955 was that Back to the Future took place there. And even they poked fun at the racism. And see, that's how I would do it. A small joke, a small line, something like that. That's right, a colored mayor. You're right, I will be mayor, Mr. Carruthers. I'm going to clean up this town. And guess what? He went on to do it because by 1985, a black mayor wasn't really an uncommon thought. People were accepting of it. Like we've had a non-white president, or we've had non-white senators, or all these things. Doctor Who is really dated. This Chris Chibnall guy just doesn't get it. He does not get it. And then what's more, this is back to the article, This kind of message hasn't been unusual in Doctor Who Season 11. In Demons in the Punjab, prejudice and bigotry were the true demons, not the time-traveling creatures that actually appeared on the scene to bear witness to the innocent's death. Arachnids in the UK featured a clear Donald Trump-esque figure, even using Jack Robertson to make a statement on gun violence. Naturally, this kind of political slant is going to provide or prove tremendously divisive in the current political context. Over the comments section of the British Mail, Season 11 has been colorfully described as Doctor Who for the snowflake generation. I just don't know why they're doing this now. I mean, honestly, guys, everybody wants me to talk about Doctor Who. I'm talking about Doctor Who. Why make the change now? We know that currently it is a political hotbed. Star Wars is doing it. It's like everyone's doing it at one time. It's this concerted effort to beat us, the audience, into submission for the views of a few. Well, to quote Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So we are larger than they are. We are, at this channel, tens of thousands of people. There are millions of people out there who, one, aren't watching Doctor Who because they think it's lame sci-fi crap, or there are other millions of people out there who are getting turned off. We've seen the numbers drop. We've seen there was a BBC iPlayer poll that I tried to pull up that got removed from Twitter. At least I couldn't find it. I was going to make a video about that. They want to say how, social media has given a voice to the voiceless. I think you've given a voice to the people who don't like your stuff. You cater to them because you think you're going to build and grow your audience, and then you just watch it spectacularly fail. Why? Doctor Who has had plenty of time to watch what happened with Star Wars. Other franchises have had plenty of time. We'll continue to have plenty of time because that's all there's going to be. There's not going to be a demand for Doctor Who. There's not a Christmas holiday episode because, Christmas is offensive. How's Christmas offensive? It's a day off for everybody, even if you don't celebrate. My Jewish friend Garrett, they love Christmas. Why? Because they went out and they went to Chinese restaurants and they went to the movies every year and they were all off work and stuff like that. It's just a different thing for different people. Doctor Who is going out of its way. It's going to basically progress itself out of existence. The snowflake generation comment is pretty accurate. And I don't think that Doctor Who is going to be around much longer. They want to say that Doctor Who's always been controversial, that Doctor Who's always been this, it's always been that. Doctor Who hasn't always been a global phenomenon the way it was for a couple years. I think when people like to look at Doctor Who and they want to put her in the front, they want to put, Mikey Spock in the front of all these images, these pieces of promotional artwork because, they're the newest one. It's much like Sean Connery as James Bond. You put him in the front because many argue or agree that he's the best. Same thing with Captain Kirk or a Picard or David Tennant Doctor Who. They're just, or if you're doing a stack of wrestlers of all time, you got to put Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Ric Flair at the front. It's just you go with what sells, you go with what's popular, and you go with what the best was. And there are certain things that are objectively better. I don't really need to get too much more into that. I think we've all come to the terms that Doctor Who has now become garbage in terms of what it's trying to do. Because an entertaining product is meant to entertain. It's not meant to sit and beat you over the head with a message you probably don't want to hear because you're hit over the head with it everywhere. That's why Star Wars worked, guys. Post-Vietnam era, you living in this dark, depressing tone. Movies were different. Then Star Wars comes out, it brings back the fun, excitement. It helps cultivate the next decade in terms of optimism and hopefulness in movies. If Star Wars wouldn't have been the hit it was, and yet Jaws and Close Encounters were both hits, but Star Wars was the big one. You wouldn't have had your Indiana Jones. You wouldn't have had all your funny, crazy, zany movies. You wouldn't have had your Ghostbusters. You wouldn't have had your Back to the Futures. You wouldn't have had all these other films out there. If you would have had an extension of the 1970s, you could have seen Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Well, Stallone was already a thing before Star Wars, but you would have seen your less than over-the-top, grounded in reality action films. And maybe some film snobs would say, well, that's where we should have been. But, as a person who likes to dream, as a person who likes to think of the happier things in life, Star Wars really elevates us. Like I told you guys, whatever gets humanity right, whatever the next basic thing that comes out that is free of politics, that can unite both sides, will be the next big hit and can help alter the future of entertainment. It can help carve out where we go as a society. That's where we are. Doctor Who wants to it's like poking the dead, poking the bear. Now's not the time. The bear lost its cub and is really hungry and angry. And Doctor Who just keeps going and going and going. And the bear is getting ready to fucking rip your arm off. So this woman, this female Doctor Who, she's not the problem. Chris Chibnall, this creator, this person who's trying to make a stance about Doctor Who or with Doctor Who, dude, it's not the right time. It's like Bill Maher, who got kicked off ABC for making a 9/11 joke right after the thing, who then led the way for Jimmy Kimmel, who has ruined the late night game. You just got to pick your time. Now's not the time. This website acknowledges the culture war. I've been talking about it for years now. Diversity in Comics even talked about our channel in a video about this culture war. It's a really current thing that people need to pay attention to. How do you decide who wins, who loses? Well, I think if there's a massive loss for, I guess, the old guard, you would say, and they say, well, it's time to change. Here's the thing. The next generation doesn't care. It's not like they're playing or fighting this culture war to, change culture. They just want to win. It's really not. There's nothing on their, there's nothing on their side of the argument to bring to the table. It's not like, oh, well, we want to change this and make this and that, because all those things have been accomplished. All those things are done. All of those things are victories that people should look back. First interracial kiss happened on Star Trek, 50 years ago? Cool. Kirk and Uhura, they kissed. Okay, so now you see interracial couples on TV? Not a big deal. Oh, I mean, they literally have to go back to the civil rights movement and Rosa Parks to try to make a point. It's so dumb. This Chris Chibnall guy is the dumbest man to ever work in television. I hope, sir, that you never get another job and that you leave Doctor Who and that the BBC realizes that the floundering numbers and the merchandise not selling and all these terrible things are a reflection of your stupid, piss-poor decisions. And at a time where people need to be unified the most, you've gone out of your way to try to make a political stance and rub salt in the wounds. Look, you guys got your own stuff going on in the UK. I think you should focus on that instead of trying to make a message about Donald Trump or Rosa Parks on a TV show. Focus on all the other problems that are going on over there, like Article 13. You may lose your right to do half the shit on the internet. Focus on that. Don't worry about Doctor Who. You know what? Make a Doctor Who episode about that. You want to talk about a political change that really needs to be to help the people, everybody, not just one sect? Do that. Because it may not be popular and trendy on the internet, and you're not going to get talked about on social media, but tough shit. That is what has got to happen. So let me see what you guys are saying about Doctor Who. You guys wanted this. You guys got it. This is the People's Republic of Pop Culture. You guys want a topic? If it comes up and it's very important, poignant, and I have a lot to say, well then, damn it, I will do it here on this show. You guys get what you want. Reviews, thank you very much for Super Chat. Thoughts on hashtag Thought Audit, also sexist Star Wars species? The Thought Audit. If you break the law, you break the law. I don't care what's between your legs or what you believe. If you break the law, you're in deep shit. So don't fuck with the IRS. They got Capone. They'll get any hot woman on the internet. End of argument. It's not sexist at all. Sexist Star Wars species. I guess the Hutts, because they don't have a sex, they're all hermaphroditic. They just self-reproduce. Look it up. Alpha Terranema, thank you very much. Focusing on diversity is like assigned reading in school. The books might be good, but nobody likes that shit when you have to read and report on it. Ooh. I like that. I like that a lot. Give me a second to think about that. Okay, let me give you a Jeff comparison to that. So Alpha Terranema, Jeff, 13 years old, or sorry, not 13 years old, 2003. I'm 15 years old, getting ready to go into high school. I got into the best school in the state because my mom made me take this test, and I got in because whatever. We had to do summer reading, and it was Fahrenheit 451. And I just didn't want to read it, hated it, had the right reports, did what I needed to do to get by. Jeff, 2 years later, age 17, rereads the book. Poof, mind blown, profound. I love Ray Bradbury, one of the few authors that I will just buy a book based on his name. I mean, I got a copy of The October Country and The Illustrated Man sitting right next to my copies of Creepshow and Star Wars on Blu-ray. Being forced to read that book was dumb, but finding it on your own was different. Now, the thing is with Fahrenheit 451, the parallel I want to make is it is scary, like 1984. It's where society is going. Like Ray Bradbury or Orwell, they wrote about this stuff decades ago, half a century ago. We're talking before any of us were alive. They knew it. That is why when I read certain things like that out of my own will or through my own will, I'm like, wow, man, there's a lot of poignant things in there, a lot of scary points that are being, they're coming to life today. When I look at Doctor Who, be it through diversity or stuff like that. And then I look at the real world because I live in the real world. I don't just live exclusively on the internet. I wish I did. Life would be so much easier. It'd be perfect 70 degrees outside. There'd be no snow. I wouldn't have to worry about the ice. But that's not a thing. When you bring up this diversity thing, this argument, I look around and I see that it's over. It's go home. The movie's over, Doctor Who. The shit you're fighting for is over. You can't really gain diversity points anymore. You as a company, like when you're in business, I think you're above and beyond the whole diversity thing for just the color of your skin. I think you want diverse ideas, but you want the best. Like Dion. Dion is one of the best security experts at his company. He's really, really good. And he, has achieved a lot professionally. It's not about his skin color. It's about being dedicated. He took certain language courses in college and martial arts and all these things. He's very dedicated to what he does. Nobody cares that he's black. Dion Green isn't defined by the color of his skin, at least to me. He may jokingly say stuff on the show, but as a friend, I just look at him as Dion, and he's achieved what he's achieved through his own will and determination. Doctor Who wants to take that away from Dion and make his identity something less. That's why I get mad about forced diversity, because I don't want an all one color thing or all one belief. Hell, I don't even want, like I said, I don't even want all one conversation topic, because life's fun when you can argue. Variety is the spice of life. But but that's for people. When you're like a business or a show or something, a movie, you're meant to appeal to everybody. And when you push other people away, you marginalize and you become the thing that you're fighting for, I guess, or against. So this Doctor Who situation is a mess. So I wish people would. I think diversity has also lost its positive connotation. It's like, oh, it's so diverse, and then people are just like, even if you don't physically go, in the back of your mind, you're just like, oh god, you're rolling your eyes. I'm just like, I get it. That means there's going to be a woman in charge. That's fine if she's qualified. Cool. Do I want a guy doctor? Do I want the best doctor in the world? Well, that's an old Indian lady. If she's qualified and still got it, I'll go to her. I don't care. People just can't get over that. Dr. Coffinails, thank you very much. As a longtime fan of DC, loved the multiple Earths, etc., I hate the Spider-Verse crap, kind of thing that Marvel used to make fun of DC for. Well, Dr. Coffinails, if that's how you feel, then you're going to absolutely love the next video that I got working, because I actually written it. I talk about the DC multiverse and all that stuff, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and how that was fine. It was convoluted, but it was DC's thing. Marvel had always been the 616 universe. Yeah, then you had, what was that, the Star Comics with Spider-Ham and a couple other things. But Dan Slott and his Into the Spider-Verse crap has really convoluted and just flat out ruined Spider-Man. Guys, at one point in my life, what was my goal? Oh, I want to be the greatest Spider-Man artist ever. I want to work on it. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay. Well, then, Spider-Man and Marvel Comics and all these things became really, really, divisive. And I just can't get into that anymore. They've changed their identity. Even if you take all politics, social cause, and get away with it and make money off of it anymore. That is why people don't like fan revolts and fan movements, because technology's reached a point where fans, through skill or sheer will, can outperform the professionals at the top of their game. With the right equipment, you can make a movie that rivals a lot of shit in theaters. Maybe not Marvel or Star Wars level spectacles, but you can get a good story from anyone that knows what they're doing. And you can find good actors. You can make it happen. Even if you look at something as basic as Clerks, you could look at Clerks and think it's garbage, but it achieved a lot. But yeah, Dr. Coffinails, all I can tell you is be on the lookout for that video. I gotta find the time to make it. I gotta get ready for tonight's show. Episode 150 is a big deal to me. So after I get off of here, I'm getting prepared for that show. But I don't like the multiple Earths or the multiple Spider-Man stuff. Leave it for DC. DC can have their Black Superman surrogate in Earth 2848. That's it. That's DC. Marvel's Marvel. Black Angus Reviews meant to say the most sexist Star Wars species. Well, you took away the fun of this show. Thank you, Black Angus Reviews. The most sexist Star Wars species. None, because I don't watch Star Wars and think anything is sexist in the movies. People want to say the Twi'leks because they're attractive, but they're Twi'lek Jedis. So certain people are just in certain professions. Just because a creature is created for a specific role in Jabba's palace doesn't mean it has to be defined by said role. Plus, she was eaten by a Rancor, so that's the noblest of all deaths. You know what? I'm going to say that the Rancor is the most sexist species in Star Wars because all it does is live in a cage underneath Jabba the Hutt, and some fat dude with man boobs attends to him. That's not a life. That's sexism. Eddie Max of Andor says, never go full retard, Robert Downey Jr. I mean, Kirk Lazarus. I am Sam. I love Tropic Thunder is the right balance of everything. How do you balance social commentary with humor, with just outright fun action? Tropic Thunder. And then Ben Stiller has gone on record and said, I couldn't make that movie today. You can't, Ben, but your movie will live on. I think Tropic Thunder is maybe his greatest directorial effort. I can't think of what else he's directed. He directed The Cable Guy, which I like a lot. Cable Guy was trying to say something about TV, but Tropic Thunder is just so much better. Come on. That's not even fair. Hey, they both have Jack Black in them, so good for Jack Black. I don't even dislike Jack Black. Don't love him either, though. Tenacious D is cool in my book. Not only was November a bad month for games, November was just a bad month for entertainment. October, November has been pretty much a shit time. That's all I can say. So let's see. Liquor Jim, thank you very much. Jeff, no need to show my postcard and your P.O. Box visits. They aren't that cool. I just want to make sure you always have encouragement waiting. Well, Liquor Jim, I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the thing. I just didn't want you to think that because it wasn't something, it wasn't worth my time. I read it the first thing, but I put it downstairs with the stack of boxes, and when I went to go get the video, I was like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I looked around, I couldn't find it, and I only had so much time to film that. So I'm glad you're cool with me not being able to show your postcard. I just wanted you to know that I do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Yes, Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. Black Angus Review says, no, hottest/sexiest, LOL, like Twi'leks. I don't really find much like other... I don't know. I don't find Star Wars sexy at all. I mean, Carrie Fisher was a nice enough looking woman, but I don't watch Star Wars and go, oh man, Princess Leia. Maybe Bond girls, but not Star Wars. Star Wars was just so cool to me and so different that I didn't really think of those things with Star Wars. So much like all sci-fi, I don't really look at I guess the only sci-fi movie I've ever watched because of the boobs was Heavy Metal. So there you go. There, you can use that as a soundbite. So Dr. Coffinails brought up Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I smell another shill controversy waiting in the wings. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse currently has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, with 95% of the fans wanting to see it. It's the best Spider-Man movie. It's the best this. It's the best that. To jump back to Doctor Who, are they rating this movie on the quality of the story or because it has Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen in the film? Therefore, oh, a girl and a person of color gets, a spotlight. Therefore, it's a good movie. No. And they're going to make Spider-Man look like a buffoon because he's a white guy. If anything, they should have made this voiced by Tobey Maguire, and then maybe I could have bought into this fully. But as a longtime Spider-Man fan, a lifelong Spider-Man fan, somebody who's so excited to talk about the game and this and that and draw the pictures and, own the action figures. No. From the minute I heard this was being made until now, I had no interest in it, and I'm still not going to watch it. Not for the channel, not anything. I will watch Venom 3 times before I'd ever watch this piece of shit. Oh, that sounds so mean. You're biased towards it or against it. I don't care, because I know what Into the Spider-Verse is. I read the books. They sucked. I know the characters. I'm not a fan. What's the point of Miles Morales? There is none. Just the color of his skin is why he exists. I don't find his story compelling. I don't find it compelling in the game. I don't find it compelling in the comics. They already told his story in Spider-Man Homecoming, except they made it Peter Parker because it's more marketable. Into the Spider-Verse will make money because it's the Spider-Man IP. But Sony will learn. See, here's what's going to happen with Sony. Venom made a bunch of money. This will make money. They're going to pull their contract from Disney. They're going to think they can do it on their own. Then they're going to go the route of Ghostbusters and do the all-female Spider-Verse spinoff, and then it's going to fall apart because they're going to market it on all women. Hell, even women I know aren't really concerned with the all-women cast. You know what? The only person I've ever heard talk about Ocean's 8 excitedly was this really, you guys would call him a soy boy. And I know him. Some of the guys know him. I don't really care for him that much. I don't dislike him, but he once used an argument because we were all talking about politics or something. And he goes, "Are you looking at me because I'm the minority here?" And I stared him in the face and said, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" That's the kind of guy he is. He always goes to pull that card. He doesn't have a real argument. He just goes, "I don't know. I don't want to talk about it." And when you pull that card with me, I go, "You don't have an argument for your stance." But he was the only person to sing the praises of Ocean's 8. "I love them all. It's going to be so great." When he saw it, he refused to talk about it. Domehammer, there already were multiple types of Spider-Man in that Spider-Man cartoon where he broke the fourth wall every episode. Yeah, back in 94, well, 98, technically, when the show ended. I was more accepting of it back then, but if you guys read the Spider-Verse comic book, when he meets Spider-Punk, Spider-Man from the cartoon series, it got too... See, my problem with Spider-Man is it's too self-referential. Much like a lot of the new Star Wars stuff. New entertainment is too self-referential. When they talk about wanting to have the characters... the real world, what's the phrase I want to use? Not the surrogates. That's not the right word. Person who's meant to represent the audience. That cipher, whatever it is. They've made those people aware of the world that they're already in. So that doesn't work because it's like, oh, Luke Skywalker and this and that. Why not be like, who? The greatest Jedi? What's a Jedi? And you can introduce, and then it makes sense. These people already know so much, it makes their stories less compelling. And Into the Spider-Verse, see, being self-aware works for Deadpool, because that's his gimmick. People would argue, but Spider-Man was like Deadpool before Deadpool. Yes, he was, but he wasn't, the stories existed as the story. Deadpool's stories kind of exist to tell one joke. Spider-Man stories are meant to be these epics. You can either have a crime epic or a dramatic story, funny stories, heartfelt stories. Spider-Man can contain all of that stuff. Now he's become a joke character. He's becoming the Funko Pop of superheroes, where everybody likes him because it's Spider-Man. But what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man is no longer there. He's irrelevant. His character arc just poof, disappeared. It's gone up. It's dried up like the webbing after 60 minutes. So I'm going to pay attention to this review of this film to see how it ranks. I think it's suspicious that it's 100%. If anything, the last year and a half has shown us how important yet dangerous Rotten Tomatoes truly is. We have to be careful when we see these numbers, because this is 100% of people give it a positive review. Does that make it the best Spider-Man movie? I don't know, because what are these people grading it on? I think it's time to look. Yeah, the sequel returns. You know what I'm talking about. So let me read a couple of these real quick to you guys. Where are we at? The best standalone film to feature the iconic character so far, from the New York Post. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, representing some of the best superhero storytelling on the market, from The Wrap. This is the seventh Spider-Man feature in 16 years, but the universe has rarely felt so fresh. From the AV Club, the film's wild and contradictory aesthetic elements, which clash against each other as some kind of dissonant cartoon, jazz dazzlingly explodes the outmoded idea of what superhero movies have to look like. Sorry, I'm just still got a cold. What distinguishes Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse is the end. It takes its mission seriously, even when being transparently silly. A freewheeling, fast and loose, striking animated addition to one of the biggest libraries of films in the Marvel collection. See, the Hollywood Reporter, I feel like Todd McCarthy almost thinks that this should be compared to the MCU in terms of like all the films. I have very little faith in the solely produced Sony Spider films. We have films like Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Venom. Those are the sole produced ones. Yes, you have Spider-Man 1 and 2, but those came from a different time without producer interference. Thank you, Avi Arad. So it seems like a lot of people are going on and on. Dan Murrell from Screen Junkies. I used to like Dan Murrell from Screen Junkies. So it seems like a lot of these people are blown away by the spectacle, the jazz, the fun. Cool. Enjoy your fun. I'm not one to want to take it away from you, but I am cautious. Paid for critics. It sounds bad. Isn't the director himself an anti-sport? Yeah, I heard that. I think these directors, you have the right to believe whatever you believe, but you also have the right to suffer the consequences financially if people don't want to support your movie because of the dumb shit you say. It's cool to jump down the throats of all these other people, but when somebody that is trendy in their beliefs says it, oh, we can't say that. We can't make them suffer. It goes both ways. See, the further I get away from The Last Jedi, I know people say it's shallow but great looking. I don't think it was that great looking. Realistically, I thought, looking back on it, it's kind of ugly. I think people said that because they were looking for a positive, as not to be this misanthropic asshole. Oh, it looked beautiful. Hell, even I may have said it looked cool in parts. But looking back, the only part that I thought truly looked great was when Luke died and he had the twin sons. I thought that was a cool moment back to the originals. Other than that, the movie looks like forgettable trash. Yeah, I too am wary of overhype thanks to The Last Jedi. You know what? I'm going to write that down. That might be a point I want to make. And the damage done by Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I have not checked the emails about Batman the Animated Series, but I will check them. Like I said, right now, with me doing the comic and being super busy, I'm kind of pushing the emails onto Kendo, and he hasn't really said much to me. So it means he probably hasn't done them in a couple days. But I'll check it out. If you're talking about wanting to get on the Batman the Animated Series watch party or something, we haven't even started to set that on up yet. So this weekend is Star Wars, though. While there's 490 people watching us right now, folks, this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m., from 10 a.m. till whenever we get done, we're doing Star Wars episodes 1 through 6 here on the channel as a live stream. You guys will have to get your own copies. I can't provide them, but it's Star Wars. If you listen to this channel, you probably own 3 copies of each, so get your shit together. But we're going to be here. We're having patrons on. It's a bonus if you're a patron. That's how you can get on the show. We're going to be doing 1-2 people per movie. I think they're mostly I don't know if anyone's picked Empire. I got to look. I will have the finalized information tomorrow, so you guys can know if you're a patron, if you're waiting. But for the most part, it's full. I'm really happy that everybody wanted to get in on this. And there won't be crossover from movie to movie. So if you show up for one after the credits roll, we're going to have you say your thanks, and then we're going to invite the next person on. So that's really how it's going to work this weekend. But we did a Halloween stream. It was really successful, and I'd like to make a correction. I said if the Star Wars stream is successful, it'll be how we determine if we do Christmas ones. No, we'll do some Christmas stuff, but if the Star Wars one is massively successful, it'll determine how soon we do Indiana Jones. So if you want Indiana Jones, if you want all these things, well, then all you got to do is just hang out with us and spread the word, because we're going to make it happen. It already has 2 fan scores at 5 out of 5. Let's see. How do I find those? Let's see. I don't want to view the news. Don't want to look at the photos. I saw the toys the other day on Black Friday. Not really a fan. So all these are is I can't wait. It's going to be epic. Looks awesome. How did this guy give it a 10 out of 10? Jonathan R. Member since November of 2018. What a dink. I love that 70s show. It was on last night. So, let's see. What else we want to do? We're going to close this out soon, guys. So if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, let me know. Yeah, Herpicus McDurpington, that was a it was a bot detected. Would you do a solo video on particular Rotten Tomatoes shilling out for SJW films? Maybe. I can do that. I'm working on Culture Wars. I was trying to do something for December. We'll see. I just got to get this comic done because I've, a lot of people are depending on this thing. I want to make it good, but I want to get through it as well because, next year I want to get back to doing a lot of videos and all kinds of stuff. And we got this Good Morning Pop Culture community that is growing. I don't want to ever make people think I don't want to do this as well. So let's see. People are shitting on it. Why can't they make Spider-Man movies like Spider-Man 94 where Parker is in college and Neogenics? Oh, man, I couldn't imagine a Neogenic Spider-Man film. Well, we got a Morbius. I almost said Mobius. Morbius Spider-Man film coming out with Jared Leto. That's going to be... But Jeff, Venom was a huge hit. Yeah, but Venom has a fan base. Maybe I disagree with Venom being popular, but he is. I can't ignore that. Can't ignore that. Thank you, Steven. I'm glad you had a great time. All right, Jacobite, I will check your email. It's weird to live in a world where I'm more excited for an Aquaman film than I am a Spider-Man film. As I look around me with my giant Spider-Man books, I own like 1 or 2 Aquaman things. No action figures. I own an Aquaman book, and the episode of Justice League is on my shelf. But I wouldn't consider myself an Aquaman collector at all. Yeah, I do think it's the worst time entertainment's ever been, or place it's ever been at this time. Because the agenda trumps all. In the media, they're trying to be funny and witty. And as a society, people are smart enough to see through the bullshit. And we're just, A lot of people don't want to watch it. A lot of people don't want to deal with it. That is why I will watch King of the Hill and old stuff and just make my own content. That's all I can tell you guys right now. Make your own content, make your own comics, your own TV shows, movies. That's what I do. People say, oh, if you don't like it, do it yourself. What the fuck am I doing? I'm doing it myself. And tens of thousands of people are right along with me for the ride. So believe me, it is a bad time to be a fan of entertainment, a consumer of entertainment. But as I just said, you have the tools, you have the skills. And you know what? If you need help, you can always come to me. Like Black Angus Reviews or anyone out there, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, you need advice, you want pointers, hell, you want to get a quick shout out on the channel, you know where to come to. Believe me, there's more than enough for everyone out there. So I'm not going to feel like, oh, if I help you, I'm hurting myself. Nope, not at all. Herpicus McDurpington, thank you very much for Super Chat. Friends and I did a drinking game where we took a shot for every Rotten Tomatoes bot we found. We almost died. Oh my god. I'd love to play that game with Dion. Dion would do it. He'd be like, let's do it to it. And we would drink and we would have fun. but I don't know what the outcome would be because I can smell some bullshit from a mile away. I'm like, that one stinks, man. That one stinks. I'm gonna do it. But Herpicus McDurpington, did you film it? That's something you should have filmed. I'd have laughed my ass off. Like, hey, there's another fake one. Oh, and what were you taking shots of? Like, some people will, I'm gonna take a shot of beer. And I'm like, well, fuck, that is technically alcohol, so it counts. But some people are like, I'm gonna take a shot of Everclear or something like that. I was like, oh my god, could you imagine taking shots of Everclear? Well, oh, if I want to forget like 6 weeks of my life, just drink Everclear. That's what you do. That's what you do. BBC got rid of Top Gear and regret it. Doctor Who will follow too. Oh my god, I really like the Top Gear lifestyle, like the cars and the watches and the planes and the cool clothes and shit. Like James Bond. That's all I can say. Would you do a live stream drawing Spider-Man one day? Yeah, I will. I love Spider-Man. We'll do some drawing streams, but the way it works right now, guys, is like I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get this all ready to go onto the streaming or the archive channel of Good Morning Pop Culture, and then I'm gonna try to record some audio, do a couple things. Then I gotta get to the gym by 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and all that crap. So that's why I put out 2 videos this week to hopefully get the algorithm noticing us again. Didn't work, but that's okay. But keep pushing forward. So just know that I'm putting out content all the time. I'm not going away. And as soon as we get the comic book done, I can. I wish I had enough time to do 7 videos a week and Good Morning Pop Culture. I have to find a way. I will listen. I will get some new software so I can record my screen. I will film myself because it's a lot easier than you think to film yourself in the right lighting, talk, and then edit that into your videos as opposed to putting images for every little word you say. Maybe that'll be the future. All I know is that I would like to do some drawing streams. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. FGC looking into loot boxes, yay or nay? I don't like loot boxes personally. I don't like DLC that much, but I understand it to a degree. More missions, more costumes, more skins, stuff, but nothing that can give you an advantage. And with loot boxes, it's like you're paying to gamble. It's like, oh, I bought $1,000 in loot boxes. All I got was a sticker. I got a rock. Well, it wasn't a rock. It was a legal infraction. So if the FTC looks into it and declares them to be illegal, cool. A big victory for the consumer and the gamer. I don't like loot boxes at all. You know what? Start selling games instead of making you get a free to play and then buy add-ons and all that crap. I hate that market or that model. I hate it at all. The Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s sucked. I saw it in theaters. I didn't like it back then. Edward Hogue, thank you very much. Working and lurking. Thanks for the Doctor Who coverage, Jeff. It's sad that all the things I have grown up with are garbage now. Keep up the great work. Edward, thank you for those kind words. Yeah, it is weird that all the things we've loved growing up, maybe I didn't grow up with Doctor Who, but I was aware of it from my late teens on. It's weird. Like I said, it feels like a concerted effort to ruin all of our favorite shit at once. And they're not producing anything new. The weird stuff is they're taking the old stuff and ruining it. Then they're remaking it, but they're doing it worse. And then people remember the old stuff, and they still don't watch the remake. It's a weird, vicious cycle of failure. That is, they talk about the circle of life in Lion King. It's the circle of shit with entertainment. Come up with something great, you run it into the ground. You remake it, it sucks. You run that into the ground, then you remake it. It just keeps getting worse. It's like a law of diminishing return. Like with movie sequels. Well, the first one made $1 billion. The second one made, 700 million. And then it was made 5, then 4, then 2, then none. That's all we're doing with our entertainment. It's just they're diminishing it for the causes of a weird period in time that no longer hold too much weight. And then when we move further and further from it, like I'm trying to think of something that was really popular a couple years ago that everybody was into and they just stopped. I don't want to use like a consumer product like a Tamagotchi or a Furby or something. I'm trying to think of like some movement that everyone was into. Like Darfur. Everybody was talking about Darfur a couple years ago. And then it just, people moved on to different causes or whatever. This social justice cause, it's trendy and cool now. Eventually people are going to go, man, we really fucked up. It's like the Hays Code in Hollywood. The Hays Code, back before the Hays Code, there was a lot more sex and violence in movies, and the Hays Code came in. It was a self-censorship. They did it with comics, with the whatchamacallit, the Comics Code Authority. They did it with all these things, these self-censorships, and then they've gone back and then they fight against it, and then from that arises new wonderful material. Now, if I found out that this social justice cause was some grand master plan to really inject originality into entertainment, I go, wow, that was Machiavellian, but I get it. No, it's not, because people buy into this shit and people will die for this shit, and it's dangerous and it's stupid. Don't die for your entertainment. I don't like Star Wars. I'm not going to get stabbed for it. No. No, thank you. No, ma'am. Oh my God, those were shots of fireball. Shots of fireball. Whew. If EVS can do it, you can too. Well, that is a nice vote of confidence. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can do it. Admittedly, though, I was really sick, and I haven't fully recovered from being sick. So I just need to rest. But I feel like I'm rested enough to where I got to get shit done. There's a point where I need to rest. Yeah, I can only rest for like a day or two. Then I need to get to work. That's what this weekend is, a working weekend. But when this is your job, well, you can't complain too much about anything. So, folks, it is 10 a.m., which means it's time to close out Good Morning Pop Culture. Oh, no, wait. We have a super chat from Observer Dude. Thank you very much. I think Attack of the Clones should have been about the Separatists sending clone armies to invade the Republic. Republic men are drafted, Padme as a soldier, Anakin has to quit the Jedi Order, Obi-Wan asked him to come back. I like it. I think Attack of the Clones is the Star Wars film that could be improved upon the most. Our friend Yakov Merkin, who as a military man, will be joining us for that one. But let's see, clone armies to invade the Republic. I like that more than I like the actual clones. But in the defense of Attack of the Clones, which I'm rarely ever going to do or say, I do like that Attack of the Clones led to the Clone Wars show, because those clones actually have personality and they add depth to the show. It elevates the Jedi. It elevates the storyline. One of the best episodes ever is that fucking defective clone episode where he can barely move, but he wants to fight and he dies a hero. Awesome show. Awesome episode. Those are the things I look for, in Star Wars. Once one platform, one genre or medium has elevated the brand, well, then I expect a little more out of Star Wars. And the Clone Wars was giving us this good shit. I expect it. I demand it at this point. I'm a consumer. You walk into a restaurant, you expect a few things, you get it, awesome. You leave a good tip, you come back later, the circle of restaurant life. With Star Wars, I want a good product. I don't get it. I voice my displeasure. There's nothing wrong. I don't ever call for threats or violence or anything terrible or negative on these people. I just do wish they'd get their heads out of their asses and they would get back to working hard. But it would have been interesting to see Anakin quit and then come back. I see, the thing is, Observer Dude, I just really am happy with the way episode 3 rolled around. So I want, if I could alter episode 2 to keep Clone Wars and episode 3 the same, I'm all for that. There are boring moments in that movie. Here's the thing about doing a Star Wars marathon, and I've done it before in my own private life. You're going in energy high with episode 1. It starts out fine. It ends great, but it's really shitty in the middle. So then you're on that okay high. Then episode 2 starts out, and then it just ends. So then 3 jacks the adrenaline back up. And then 4 is great, 5 is great, 6 is damn good. 2 is the low point of the true Star Wars saga. I can't do 7 and 8 this weekend. I won't do it. That's all I can say. Nicholas Glenn says, are you going to be on the Exozone with Doomcock? No, because we have our Star Wars stream our Star Wars stream will end around the same time that Doomcock starts his, but I won't be able to sit here for like 15 hours straight. So I want to join the next one. I want to be on the Exozone with Doomcock. I want to go onto Doomcock's channel, hang out, help him get some subscribers. He's been nothing but cordial and excellent to us. And so I want to return the favor because he's a good dude. So I want to join the Exozone. unless his next one is on like a holiday or something that I have planned with the show, mark me down for that one. I love the idea. I love the concept. If it goes for like 4 and 5 hours and I take a break and I rest and I get back online and he's still going, I might say, hey, man, shoot me an invite. I'd love to come hang out. Can't promise anything yet, but Nicholas Glenn, I'd love to. Pagan God X, thanks for everything, brother. Get something for you, or got something for you soon. Well, thank you, Pagan God X. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are here. Good morning, pop culture. Just when I think people have lost interest, no, more people than ever show up. So thank you to everybody who joined us this morning. I'm going to do my best to get this live stream up on YouTube on the other Good Morning Pop Culture channel. And as soon as that gets monetized, well, then I guess we're going to be moving it to there. Two things before you click away. People keep asking me in messages, are you going to do gaming? Are you going to do gaming? I might just do a gaming separate channel, not to dilute this channel, because I know people like me and they'll listen to whatever I talk about. But I figure at the same time, there are people that just want Star Wars and drama news and all that crap. And whatever the channel's been built on, I don't really want to change it and take that away from you. So maybe down the road, we'll stream the PlayStation stuff to that channel. But also, I got a Star Wars giveaway I'm doing for our patrons. I'm giving away this Darth Revan or Revan action figure. It's a Black Series 6-inch I picked up on Black Friday. I'll sign it. I'll do a little sketch of Darth Revan, and somebody can win it. So you guys know what to do. Thank you for watching. I'll be back in just a few short hours with episode 150 of World Class Bullshitter. So I'm going to start up and get amped for that because I'm excited. Dion, Kendo, Nick were excited, and we're very thankful that we could have done it for this long. And guess what? We got another 500 or 600 episodes in us, or until we get too big, and then we just have to do it live on TV, and you have to watch us. We can't use the same numbering. It gets confusing, but that's cool. So, guys, I'll see you soon. I'll see you tonight. Be good and be excellent to each other.